Hey, what is going on, guys? Coming back at you with another deck profile, and today I'll be giving you guys an updated version of my Volcanic Traptrix. If you guys do actually want to check out my original deck profile for this build, which was actually my first ever deck profile and video on YouTube, I'll actually leave a link to that in the description below, along with a link to my Volcanic Hero deck profile if you want to check that out. Now, with this updated version of the deck, I've actually only really made a few changes between the main, extra, and side deck compared to the last build that I showed you guys. There's not really a whole lot of card effects or choices that I really need to explain, so this video should be a bit shorter for you guys. So starting off with the monsters, we of course have the triple Volcanic Rocket, the triple Volcanic Scattershot, and triple Volcanic Shell. Then I also do run the free roll Firestorm guards. I personally just really like free because I want to see this as often as possible, just to make sure I can recycle those scatter shots and shells to be able to reuse them over and over again throughout the game. Then for the final monster, I do run the 2 Traptrix from Melia. So that was 14 monsters, now with the spells. Starting off, we of course have the triple pod duality, along with the double magic planter. Planter's definitely something you could consider running at 3, but I personally just like 2, because it's not a card you want to see in multiples, and it's not a card you want to open up with that often, because you actually need to have a continuous trap to be able to use its effects. So there's a lot of times where if you run it at 3, it can be very dead. So I personally think 2 is the right number. Then I do run the free MST in the main, just really good for those back row heavy decks and those floodgate heavy decks, which are a lot of decks out there outside of Necros. And it also is really good if you're in that desperate situation where you really just need to get that reload in graveyard to be able to pull off your scatter shot play. So that's why I do personally like free MST in the main. Then for 1-0s, we have the 1 Book of Moon and 1 Regeki. So that was 10 spells. Now for the final 16 traps. Starting off, we of course have the triple Blaze Accelerator Reload. I always have a hard time pronouncing that name. The 2 Fiendish Chain and 2 Lose 1 Turn. You definitely could consider running a third Lose 1 Turn, a third Fiendish Chain, or third 3 of each of them. But since you have searchable effect negation with Traptrix from Melia, and since I also don't want to clog up my back row too much with too many continuous traps, that is the reason why I only run 2 of each. Then for the Mermelio search targets, we have the 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, the 1 Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, and the 1 Void Trap Hole. Biggest reason to run the Void Trap Hole over a second Trap Hole Nightmare is just because there are monsters out there that are either immune to destruction with continuous effects, or they have effects that don't activate when they're spell summoned, or the turn that they're spell summoned. So Void Trap Hole is really good for those monsters on negating their whole effects and getting rid of them, whereas Trap Hole Nightmare would not be able to get rid of those monsters. So that is why I personally do like the 1-to-1 ratio there. Then for other 1-0s, we have the 1 Compulse, the 1 Jar of Avarice for another way to recycle our scatter shots and shells, and also our other spells and traps. The 1 Ray of Destruction, another burn card, and a spot removal card that is really good in combination with scatter shot. The 1 Solemn Warning, the 1 Torrential Tribute, basically a more responsive Mirror Force. I actually did replace Mirror Force from the last build with the Torrential Tribute and the Ray of Destruction. Then finally the 1 Vanity's Emptiness. So that was a 40 card main deck. Now on to the extra deck. So starting off, we of course have Abyss Dweller, Karen Gorgon to protect our floodgates, Castel, Dark Rebellion, Diamond Dire Wolf, Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, Gagaga Cowboy, Lavavo Chain, really good for stacking our roll Firestorm guards, and also good for sending Volcanic Shell and reload to the graveyard. Silent Honor Arc, Ragnar Zero, Black Ship of Corn, another burn card that is really good against rogue matchups like decks that play the hands, Yang Zanes, things like that. Rhapsody and Berserk, Heartland Draco, then the combo of Ptolemaeus and Diamond for, of course, Burying Abyss and Stalls. I would highly recommend, if you do have Dagusto Emerald, to definitely take one of these cards out for Dagusto Emerald. I did previously have that card in my extra deck in my last deck profile, but I did sell it off just because for all the time that I've been playing this deck and all the time I've had Dagusto Emerald, I've really never gone into Emerald, maybe once in all my playtesting, and I got a really good deal out of it to the person I sold it to, so that is personally why I did decide to sell that. So So that was the extra deck. Now to wrap it up with the side deck. Starting off, we of course have the 2 Effect Veiler and 2 Max D. Max D is just always good against those special summon heavy decks to make them think about their plays and also to just gain advantage off of them special summoning a lot. And also Veiler is just good if you need that extra effect negation. The Double Twister, good against those Floodgate heavy decks and really good in the Cleavefort matchup just for getting rid of their Floodgates and getting rid of their Scout. The Triple Imperial Iron Wall, good against those Banish heavy matchups like Necros, Spiritual Beast, and Infernoids. It does get in the way of your Reload Graveyard effect, but that's really the only thing that hinders in this deck, and it also is a continuous trap that you can get rid of with MST, Twister, or Magic Planter. Then I do run the Triple Mind Crush for those Search heavy decks, the 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for Burning Abyss and Stalls, and then finally the 1 Time Space Trap Hole, which is really good against Burning Abyss and Cleaveforts, and you'll usually want to side out Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare for this card in those matchups, since Nightmare doesn't really hit any of their cards in those matchups. So that is it for the deck profile, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like the video if you did, and also feel free to subscribe as well for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. Also let me know in the comment section below what you think about this deck. Definitely am open as always to any suggestions you guys may have as far as how I can make this deck better. And definitely want to know from my Volcanic players out there, what variant of Volcanics do you prefer? If you prefer like the pure Volcanic engine, if you prefer the Traptrix from Malio engine that I run, if you like Summoner Monk, the Fire and Ice Hands, Heroic Challenger, Assault Halberd, let's see, Star Seraphs, Volcanic Heroes, things like that. Definitely like to know that in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.